Dear Bishop here, and today I wanted to, speculate on a couple things. I think the next Borderlands game needs basically, what would be useful or a good quality of life improvement for Borderlands 3. So, number one, like I mentioned in my last video, actually, one of my last videos. Oh, hello. What do we have here? An amp shield. Not really useful, but I don't know. I'm not a big fan of amp shields, unless I'm playing a Zero. Anyway, so my whole thoughts on what would be needed are, first of all, things like the ability to just buy all. Like I said, it's a feature that I came across from the Ratchet and Clank series from day one. I mean, from the first game. What you would do is you would just, all ammo. There would be an option for all ammo. Just click that, and if you had the funds, it would automatically refill everything, and you could just go. Now, the second thing is, and it's appropriate that I got here, with, pardon me, with, what's his name? Marcus here. Make the actual guns you purchase in the shop worth a damn. Because most of the time, I just end up not even bothering with anything he has to sell, due to the fact that it is actually that useless. That everything I usually find through just loot is always better. Almost always better. Either that or something like the torque machines are usually the only good source of loot, and those are for explosive anyway. So that's exactly what, well, aside from those, another thing I think should be done with Borderlands 3. Well, I wish I could actually use this, but I can't. But I know Zero can when he gets to the... I know Zero's and Jubo can use it when he gets to a high enough level, so I'll do that. And done. I'm not even sure why I keep the Psycho class mod in there. I'm never going to play the Psycho. But in any case, now a big thing I think is how they actually scale difficulty in this game. Or how they deal with increasing difficulties, like from normal mode to true Vault Hunter mode to ultimate Vault Hunter mode. Now, I don't really have any complaints about normal and true Vault Hunter mode. Those are fine, because normal mode is just for the player to get used to the game. True Vault Hunter mode is where you start introducing new enemy types and everything, so that becomes more relevant. And then, actually, I'm gonna turn the mute off. There we go. And just, keep the volume low. That's another thing I should do. I should actually find some damn music. Yeah, I'll just put on some. Sorry, I should have had music on from the beginning. My apologies. Anyway, now that that's done. How they treat difficulty in this game, I am not a fan of. Because it's just like, okay, well now we just increase the health pool and reliance on slag, which to me is a gimmick. No. I mean, I think, honestly, that the way they handled, what is that? Ultimate Vault Hunter mode was a very, very missed opportunity. In this game. How they could have handled it much better, in my opinion, was, and since this was an add-on, the later level, I don't think there's an excuse for the way they handled it. I think it was just a case of, let's just get it done. Or maybe this idea just didn't cross Gearbox's mind. That's entirely possible, too. And what idea am I talking about? Well, the idea I'm talking about is instead of, just making enemies hit like a fucking truck. Ow! What the hell hit me? Yeah, kind of like that, only a lot worse in UVHM. Anyway. So instead of them just hitting like a truck and having a battleship's worth of health, my thought was to enhance the AI, make it far more intelligent. I mean, I know how AIs work, that they usually run off of a certain script. It's like, okay, say X AI character is here, or should I say, X AI character discovers they're being shot at. Okay, they're near cover, then dive behind that cover. That sort of thing. It's basically a logic tree, a decision tree. If certain circumstances are met, they do certain actions. My idea is to expand that tree. Just expand that tree a little. Make them... I spoke about this before in my UVHM, how not to make difficult. I can't remember the exact title of the video, because let's face it, I have the memory of a goldfish, but I distinctly remember saying that what they should have done was make the enemies much more intelligent by making them adopt better squad-based tactics. You know, actual cover fire, flanking maneuvers, all that sort of thing. And I see they do this to an extent, but they don't enhance it. I mean, they don't enhance it very well. And I'm not saying it's not rewarding to actually overcome the current AI that there is, but I think that instead of, you know, making the game reliant on slag, or making the player, reliant on slag, and just giving them an insane health boost and health regeneration, I would rather see them just make the AI smarter, more confident. So you actually felt like, okay, these guys are actually going to give me a hard time because they're actually just that. Really? Okay, okay, fine, my mistake. Now, I'm not saying they're going to, you know, be Eisenstein 100% of the time. Regardless of what you do, just due to how many player choices there really are. But I'm just saying, make your AI more adaptable. Because an AI that can more quickly adapt to changing circumstances will be better remembered than AI that simply, you know, is tough for the sake of being tough. And what I mean by that, of course, is, like I said, the insane ammo, the insane health regeneration, the insane health pools, yada yada yada. Now, obviously, another way to do this would be to actually have the AI learn from your own interactions with it. I can't remember which game did it. I think it was the one Turok game, I'm not exactly sure. Or that supposedly did it anyway. or it might have been Run Like Hell. I'm not exactly sure which game it was, but apparently what was supposed to happen is that the AI was supposed to learn from you, the player, on how to actually, fight. And that to me, it's like, okay, that to me would be just the best, because of the fact that it's like, okay, a game would inform you that over the time of, normal mode and true Vault Hunter mode, the game's actually been studying your reactions to what it throws at you. And then to find out that it's going to use your own tactics against you. I mean, that would just be the ultimate to me. That's exactly what real difficulty sounds like to me. Is that the enemy has been just kicking back, learning how you do things this whole time, and then when you're ready to move up to the final difficulty, the game says, alright, hotshot, now that you've shown us exactly all these moves of yours, we're going to make damn sure to use them against you. In a sense, you'd be fighting yourself. So if you're like one of these super elite players, and imagine this. Imagine this whole, what is that? Imagine in this game, I mean, because there's obviously an online aspect to it, what you could do for people who have done UVHM is that they could select each other's AIs. That they could run through the game. That they could do a fresh, brand new run through the game, paying themselves against each other's AIs. Like through like a AI transfer file. Until the point, now obviously, there's always you can just stick with your own AI. Like you could be able to switch back to just what the AI that you've built up is capable of. And that be it. But what if you could have it be the ultimate test of skill that your friend could, and this would actually solve the PvP side too. This would be a way to scratch that PvP itch that some of the quote-unquote more hardcore players have. Without having to do all sorts of balances for guns and all sorts of things like that. I know I've been harping upon this idea for a while, but that's because this is the idea that speaks to me the most. It's like, well, what could we do in order to give better difficulty overall in UVHM without having to rely on, deep health pools and deep health regeneration? Instead, over time, in in normal Vault Hunter mode and true Vault Hunter mode, the AI has been learning from you. And then, with all of that information compiled, a new AI has been forming specifically off of your combat data. So like this, every little trick shot, every little thing about how you've been wiping the floor with the unenhanced AI, every little trick, it now knows and will use it against you. So, yeah. And how I said it would scratch the PvP itch is that people could pit each other's AIs against each other. You know, the AI that you've built over time. And this is why I believe also that another aspect should be done is custom build weapons. And how that now, obviously, instead of, going crazy, what it could be is a combination of weapons that you've already obtained. Some kind of weird fusion sort of thing. Like, say, a shotgun like this. And of course he killed everybody, so I'm gonna die here. But, whatever. But, like, see, okay, like I said, this shotgun right here, combine it with, like, other shotguns that I've gotten, and I could make it, maybe instead of explosive rounds, maybe make it acid rounds or something like that. Or a different trigger, or a different stock, better scope, all these other things. Mix and match parts until you get the best guns you want. Obviously, rarer items would have better parts on them, and usually do. Now, obviously, the mix and match parts would also mix and match different values, such as it says 8,211 times 16, so that's what that barrel would have. Or something like that. But it has low accuracy. So maybe like a Jacob's shotgun, maybe for the stock, for the Jacob's shotgun would increase its accuracy, stuff like that. Or maybe a better scope. Maybe even take parts from different classes of weapons. Like say, what is this? The Shredifier. Take this barrel maybe, and put it on a different assault rifle. I mean, obviously this is a rare weapon, so it's got a nice combination of parts. So maybe give it like a Jacob's grip or something like that. I'm not exactly sure what prefixes and parts all this is, but I know it's badass. It works very nicely. I personally like this one's scope a lot better, so I would actually put that on instead, as opposed to the scope that this one has right now. But just all those little things, I think, would add so much replay value. I mean, I'm not selling Borderlands 2 short. Okay, this game has clearly a very long shelf life. But and there's a caveat to this. What if you could make that almost infinite, especially amongst the, higher tier players? And obviously, if you do something like the Digistruct Peak again, what you could do is have it, well, no, wait. Maybe by default of UVHM, they could have it to where you could have the traditional AI just tougher and everything, like, how it is here in Borderlands 2. Or they could choose to opt in to the crazy freaking, you. Anyway, sorry. Got a little distracted there. But that's how I think Borderlands 3 could actually vastly improve and even satisfy the PvP crowd is by pitting each other's AIs against each other. Where the hell are all these guys? Whoa! Also, these enemies that have super powerful weapons that can one-shot the player into fight for their life. No. Do not do that. That is fucking annoying. Anyhow, those are just my thoughts on how to improve the AI. I mean, not so much just improve the AI, but just in general, make Borderlands 3, game to really remember. A unique way to settle the whole heavy PvP side of things without actually having to implement PvP. Because everybody fights each other's AIs rather than actually fighting each other. And I'm sure the actual PvP crowd would agree with me on that one. It's like, oh, well, I can... Now, if, say, someone could curb stomp the AI that I create for my fighting skills, or I just manage to beat it, well, then obviously they're a better player and I have to, learn and get better. Or as the Dark Souls crowd would say, get good. So, yeah, an easy way to make better UVHM and to satisfy the PvP crowd all in one sweep. Or as they say, killing two birds with one stone. So yeah, that's my list of things I would like to see in the new Borderlands. Adaptivate actual learning AI that learns from you. The ability to challenge each other's AI, that would solve the PvP side of things, without having to introduce actual PvP and all the other crazy balancing for guns and shit. And also a buy all option when it comes to what is that? To the vending machines. And not having to rely on slag if you don't choose. And also being able to customize guns. So those are my top things for, oh yeah, and of course, scaling the loot that's in the vending machines, scale it to the player's current level, so that you don't end up just spending all your money on slot machines and shit like that. Make markets actually useful for once. Anyway, I'm gonna finish this up, and let me know your thoughts down in the comments. What do you think they should implement for the new Borderlands 3? Until next time, I've been Jaeger Bishop. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, share this with your friends, all that good stuff. Sorry. Please share this with your friends, and of course, do leave a donation to the Patreon or PayPal links are in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all later.